Good evening, Night Owl Club. It's not that late. It's just 9 p.m. where I'm at. But it's nighttime anyway. I have been messing with this lamp next to me, trying to find the right lighting, but it looks like I'm in the dark. But I have the light on behind me, so I'm really not in the dark. I wanted to bring up a topic tonight that I have been dealing with my self. And I had therapy today, and there's a word that I want to bring to you tonight. It's called Anhedonia. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Anhedonia. And what that is it's when you lose the pleasure of the things that you once enjoyed. It sounds a lot like depression. It's in its own little category, though. It goes with depression. And listen, I'm not a doctor. I don't have a degree in anything. I'm just telling you my own experiences. But I have been experiencing anhedonia for the last several weeks or so. But mostly, it's intensified within the last couple weeks. And it comes and goes in waves. I'll look at my crochet bag and I'll just be like, nah. And that's so not like me, because I like to crochet. I like to create blankets for people. I'll just pick out some pretty yarns and I'll just start knitting a blanket, and I'll think as I'm knitting the blanket who I'd want to give it to. And so once I'm done with the blanket, I put my little leather tag on it and I give it to them. And it's something I enjoy doing. But that's one thing that is not always bringing me pleasure lately, which is just very unlike me. And it's not just that, it's reading, it's even cleaning, because I like to clean. I find it to be therapeutic. I like when things are nice and tidy and clean and organized, and everything is in their spaces and in their own places. But lately I'll have these moments where it's just, there's nothing in that moment that will bring me joy at all. And it feels like I'm drowning. It feels like I'm being overwhelmed by this heavy thickness of doom. And it's not a good feeling. And there's nothing I can do to snap myself out of it. It's just time has to pass in order for it to pass. And I went to Google, and I wanted to see if there was a scripture that could help bring me closer to I feel like I can't talk tonight. If there is a scripture kind of related to this that can bring me closer to the Lord when I'm feeling these moments, because we all have our Psalm 23, we have our Psalm 91s, and we have a lot of the well-known scripture verses that we all say, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I really wanted to dig and find a specific scripture that I could repeat in my head. Strictly for anhedonia. And long and behold, in Nehemiah, in chapter 8, verse 10, there is something that I can share with you that can help in this moment. And it's in, like I said, Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10. And Nehemiah continued, "Go and celebrate with a feast of rich foods and sweet drinks, and share gifts of food with people who have nothing prepared. This is the sacred day before the Lord." This is the part of the scripture that I want us to all remember. "Don't be dejected and sad, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Don't be dejected and sad, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. So if you suffer from anhedonia, like me, I want you to remember this when you're going through those moments. You might not have any joy inside of you, in your own person, but God has tons of joy in His Spirit. God is joy. And we must cling to God and feel His joy, and He will give us His joy. and He will share it with us and pour it over us. And He is our strength. God is our strength in those moments. God is our strength in all moments, but those moments where we have that anhedonia, where we're racking our brain just trying to figure out what is it that I can do in this moment to bring me joy. We're focusing on ourselves. We're focusing on our own strengths. And that's why we continue feeling so down in the dumps. We must remember in those moments, it's not about us. It's about God. It's about God's joy. It's about finding strength in the Lord in those moments. So I'm going to take that with me the next time I feel that moment where I'm just like, oh, there's just nothing I can think of in front of me that I can see, that I can do, that I can busy myself with. Whether it's reading a book, crocheting, sweeping the floor, whatever would it normally bring me joy, that doesn't bring me joy. And honestly, a part of me wonders if maybe the Lord purposely is giving me this anhedonia so I can turn to Him more than just focusing on what I'm supposed to do for myself to make myself feel better. Because we all do that. We all think of our own ideas on how we can feel better, whether we go out and we go shopping and buy a few new things just to kind of brighten our moods, or else, go get ice cream after dinner or something to boost our spirits, things like that. Those are us thinking of our own strengths, but the Lord doesn't take pleasure in our own strength. The Lord takes pleasure in us when we find our strength in Him. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I learned that word, anhedonia. I heard it a while back, didn't really understand it, but when I started experiencing this feeling more and more, and I talked with my therapist about it today, we realized that is what that's what I'm experiencing, is anhedonia, and it goes along with major depressive disorder. So I'm just going to continue to pray, and I'm going to continue to pray for all of you out there who are struggling with depression and chronic illness, mental health disorders, things of those natures. And I'm going to pray for all of us that the Lord touches us with His joy and His strength, and that we must not forget to look to Him all the time, especially in our darkest moments, because the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and the crushed in spirit. He truly is. He's right there. And so with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go spend some time in prayer before I go to bed tonight. And, okay, I hope that helps somebody out there. And I love you all. God bless you, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.